headquarters in Lagos and Nigeria, this is Enterprise Morning on Enterprise TV. I am Henry EBBK. In a jiffy, we'll be going to our newspaper headlines to see what we have for this morning, and right after that will be conversation also for today. So while we get everything all sorted out for you, please do well to visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com. Like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. With me in the studios today to discuss and peruse on what we have for our newspaper headlines is Barrister Evans Ufeli. He is a barrister at law and also the public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, Barrister.
Good morning.
And welcome.
My pleasure.
To Enterprise Morning today. So quickly, let's start off with the Daily Trust newspaper. And the banner headline here says, UN confirms over 200 women IDPs abducted in BORNO. And the rider there says, families ask federal government National Assembly to rescue loved ones. And the sub-rider there says, terrorists burn IDP houses at Dikwa. And also we have on the top strip of the same newspaper, hardships. Reps seek 100,000 minimum wage for workers. Buhari's 8 years of printing money without productivity caused inflation, and that's coming from Doom. And also on the downstream of the same newspaper, we have over 40 killed as militia groups clash in Benue. Barrister, here we have it again. We started this yesterday with the abduction of women who went, looking for firewood, and profoundly is the number. It keeps changing. Yesterday we had 100. The Voice of America said it was 46. Now the United Nations is saying over 200 women abducted. Why do we have these irregularities in the number of people that were abducted? Do you think there's something we do not know?
Well, it means that it further widens the conversation that those people have been abandoned. That's what it means. Yeah, what it means is that
they can be accounted for.
Anybody can come and put a figure as to what has happened since these women have been abandoned. Nobody could have taken time to do a count selection when the insurgents will not release the statistics of how many persons are in their custody. The Chibok girls, theirs was easy because the school knew the number of students in the school. And when they got the list of those who were left, they did a calculation to know that, okay.
So it was easy to figure out those that were missing.
It was easy to figure out. Now, in the IDPs, I don't know whether they have a list of the number of the people there and whether there's a daily call or register. I doubt. Unlike a school formal setting, the IDP is not a formal setting. It's a survival setting. Yes, it's a survival setting. So anybody can put figures, just like the UN yesterday. Voice of America yesterday 46. The UN has over 200. Okay, and the number keeps counting here and there. So it means that it's an indictment. The government have failed completely, and thank God people are reaching out to the National Assembly. We said it here yesterday that the duty of the National Assembly is to oversight the executive, to oversight the Nigerian Army and the executive. So perhaps that call went out there. Some people got the advice right to face the National Assembly. That is their job. Face them, let them oversight that issue and give us a report as to what has happened, who did what, when, and how. One of the institutions, the Voice of America, said it was ISWAP.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So the UN only talked about the number,
the figure.
The persons or people responsible. We don't know yet from the UN. So it's a case of an emergency. It's a case of now. You notice that the insurgents also set one of the IDP camp at place.
Dikwa.
Yes. Okay. So it means that now they have turned their attention to the IDPs. Okay. The fragments of what is left of all they have destroyed over the past 6 years. Because we've had these IDPs now over 6 years. Okay. There's no resettlement plan for any of the IDPs. There's no plan for them. And then we have a ministry of disaster and humanitarian whatever, where they go to steal money. You understand? That ministry is supposed to take care of emergencies like this. All the funds meant for emergencies have been stolen. So the politicians have stolen all the money that is required to develop Nigeria. That is why those people are abandoned. Not like the federal government have not budgeted funds. You saw the lady that was indicted not too long ago, Better I do, and the one before her. Okay, both mesh in corruption, huge amount of money siphoned. Okay, if in a serious environment, the funds they siphoned would have been used to better the lives of the people in the IDPs or the IDPs.
But the question now is, with the type of National Assembly we have, voice on the streets and have said they are rubber stamped. Not just rubber stamped, but super glue has been added to it. Do you think it's possible to see something coming from them?
Well, the National Assembly is not independent under the APC. They are not, and they are not doing much. If you look at the National Assembly, the Saraki's, is the 8th Assembly? Saraki's 8th Assembly, yes. If you see the level of oversight that they carried out during that assembly, because it was an opposition, an opposition assembly. So, in fact, there was a time they told the president that they will not approve certain funds until the president have addressed certain issues in the country. You understand? That is kind of National Assembly that will give you value. Where you have opposition at the National Assembly, the citizens will find certain level of conversations that will give them succor. But this type that you have, where Akpabio and his cohorts are completely disconnected from whatever it is that this country is up and against, is terrible. So I don't see the National Assembly doing much, other than that they may come and pay lip service or eye service, and then try to convince the people that they know what they are doing.
All right, so let's look at quickly, still on the Daily Trust newspaper. Edu Minister Edu, that is saying that Buhari's 8 years of printing money without productivity is the cause of our inflation. Does that really make sense coming from an experienced economist?
Yeah, there's a sense in what he's saying.
Okay.
Under Buhari's administration, there was no activity. In fact, there was everything wrong under the sun happened under Buhari's, because he was never aware of what he was doing in the first place. He created so many issues that affected the country. He did not address any major infrastructural projects. Okay, and he didn't do well. So, if Edu is saying that, even though I will ask for evidence, he should show us evidence, he should be able to give us some provisions as to if it's not even the only one that said that. The current governor of Edo State.
Edo State.
Yes.
And also Abia State governor. Equally said
Abia State governor equally said the same thing. Is it Abia State?
Yes, Abia State governor.
Okay.
Alex Oti.
The current Abia State governor.
Abia State governor
said the same thing, that under, it's a military mentality. The military, they don't, they just go to the central bank and ask you to bring money. So that's, if you say there's no money, they have to go and print. That's how they operate. So it does not matter whether the economy is going front or back. Where is the money? Say there's no money, go and print money. So that is the kind of mentality that, and the humongous corruption that went under Buhari, especially few days to his exit, when he was borrowing money from everywhere to empty everywhere. He has not been probed till today. And I don't know why he should not be probed. And I don't know why he should not be sent to prison. Just like Jacob Zuma.
Well, that's too harsh.
No, it's not harsh. It's not harsh. We must get there. So we'll have to go there. President and past president that have mismanaged the economy of Nigeria. Is Buhari better than the other 200 million Nigerians that he put people in this kind of hardship and made the way for another person like him to come and extend and elongate the suffering of the people? This is going to be a harrowing experience, a 16-year harrowing experience of two people who should never lead anybody, leading 200 million people and all that. So I don't think it's...
All right, so let's move on to our next daily today. It's coming from the Punch newspaper, and the banner headline here says 24 states can pay salaries without the federal government allocation. And we have the writer here, 24 states to pay 1.48 trillion salaries in 2024, but generate 914 billion naira IGR. The governor's advising to boost the IGR from the federal government. And also, we have on the top strip of the same newspaper, 30 killed in Benue, fresh attacks the Senate to meet Tinubu, CBN printing 22 trillion naira under Buhari fueled inflation. And Barrister, let's take a look at this, especially as it concerns the minimum wage. The president has often, bragged that there is an increase in the money grants going to state as a result of what was saved from a subsidy. And now 24 states are saying they can't pay salaries. Just a couple of days back, a northern state approved 24 vehicles, brand new vehicles to the state assembly members. Do you think this is true coming from the state?
I don't believe the state when they say they cannot pay salary. And even if they cannot pay salary, they should go and work on the IGR. You see, the concurrent list clearly states the purview under which they can operate and generate funds. Okay, what are they doing about agriculture? Okay, what are they doing about education? Okay, what are they doing about the humongous power that has been placed in their purview to develop the country or their respective region? They must find creative ways. It's wrong to say that, because if you go and see the way they live, the kind of ostentatious life and wastages that go on with state. Will governor want to move from a distance of 2 kilometers? He's moving with 200 vehicles off-world. That's wastages. So you cannot live that kind of life and turn around and tell the government that you cannot pay salary without allocations. That's not true. There is no state in this country. How many persons do they have in their civil service in the state? How many do they employ? And how much is their allocation every month? What is the level of capital projects that they have in their hands in their respective states that the state will come and say it cannot pay? There is no state in Nigeria that have less than 5 million population. No state in Nigeria. So if you have that population, it's a huge market for whatever it is you can do. Your taxation, okay? How well have you managed it? We know how Lagos State used to generate very little in the year 2000, 2001. Up until when Fashola came in and, expanded everywhere, created ministries and all that, including advertising and all that. And the state are generating a lot of money, such that they do not need the federal government any longer to sustain. So I don't agree. The states have sufficient capacity. But if they keep waiting for the federal government for allocation, then they will keep saying they are not able to pay salary without allocation. But if they are ready to get to work and be creative enough, okay, to go into different areas, they have different areas they could develop. The state could own agro businesses, massive ones. Okay.
Now, do you think the inefficiency of our leaders not doing the right thing? Do you think this is coming from the not having the right people, or having the right people, but people not having the right ideology on what it means to govern well?
No, the right people are there. The ideology is there. What is killing us is corruption, stealing. People are stealing the money meant to develop their state. Your governor is sitting on your resources. Then even the funds that go to the local government, he clears everything. Okay? So you have thieves all over the place. It's only a thief that will have capacity allocations, funds everywhere, and sit on around to say that they cannot pay salaries. And even the one federal government was giving them as bailouts, that one is to further weaken the state because they will no longer think at all. Because the federal government is a big brother that will give them money anytime they are unable to do anything. And when the federal government dish out this money, the federal government, in return, by concurrence, does not ask for an audit or a balance sheet of the way these funds are disbursed. Is it because of the autonomy of the state? If the states are autonomous, why would the federal government be giving them money? And if they give them money, why shouldn't there be transparency as to how these funds... In some states, they are still owing salary. In some states in Nigeria, they used to pay half salary. In Kogi State, the former governor used to pay half salary. You understand? So, this level of maladministration, we always call on the president all the time, okay, because we are fixated with the center. Otherwise, the units are worse.
Very true.
If even this local government that we keep empathizing, we keep talking about that, why should the government be treating them like that? The corruption in the local government too will destabilize you.
So, which means if there's the complete autonomy of the local government, they might not perform at all.
If there is complete autonomy, there must be serious supervision
from the state government.
From the state, otherwise there will be nothing. Before now, local government used to turn roads now. Yes, even the local government generates funds. All the markets, maintenance of markets, Okada licensing, it's local government.
Local government funds. Right.
All this timber, wood, and all that wood that come to carry this local government that generate funds from there. What are they doing with it too?
Very true. Very true. Lastly, let's move to the Nation newspaper. And the banner headline here says, "Outages Minister threatens discos with license revocation." And the writer here says, "Willful non-compliance won't be tolerated. Distributors, companies, TCN summons." And also on the bottom strip of the newspaper, we have a very interesting story here. "Bureaucracy, cash crunch, stall e-passport issuance." And that's coming from the Minister of Interior. Barrister, let's take a look at these issues together, especially as it concerns outages in Nigeria. And it seemed to me, like the government might be truthful about this. Willful non-compliance from discos. Do you think that's a good submission?
The discos have been complaining for a long time, okay, about tariff, about the contract they signed, what they're able to distribute and what is generated, and the cost of what is sold to them by the Gencos. Okay? It's one investment that nobody understands how they came about, that unbundling. It was never by merit. So I don't know why we're expecting light. It was never by merit. Some people just did some things and called it unbundling. The people whom this thing was given to, we don't know. Many of them have shares in generator companies. So they frustrate power in order to sell generator. So this is a very devilish thing. You see this light thing? Until we're able to sort it out with honesty. You see, the power this year have been on steady decline. As I speak to you now in the Lagos State Judiciary, they are debating now the Lagos State Judiciary, and they want to be, the courts will be sitting 3 times per week now.
Due to?
In power supply. When we go to court now, they don't on the generators until it's 10 o'clock.
Wow.
And when they on it by 10 o'clock, they off it by 2. And by 2, you still have cases on the cost list.
So what happens to such
the cases are spilled over. You cannot undertake litigation without light. In fact, the courtrooms in Lagos, once the light goes up, it's darker than the midnight.
Really?
Yes. So there's a debate now. That is Lagos, so they won't have IPP. How about states that don't have most states, their judiciary is not as busy as Lagos State. But there's a debate now that they will be sitting already. The civil service
Go to work like
level 14, 16, 3 times.
3 times in a week.
Then a particular level, 4 times. You understand? This is as a result of complete breakdown of infrastructure. You understand? And the government's effort to resuscitate the situation is not visible. It's not communicated. So the problem is just too much.
Too multifaceted.
The problem of power is just too much. Virtually everyone is burning diesel. Diesel is even a no-go area now. The petrol is increased. Cost of living is increased. Companies are downsizing. Okay? Because they are unable to keep up with cost of running costs and production.
Exactly.
So,
all right, so let's look at this issue finally before we leave. The Minister of Interior promised us when he, did the wonder with the e-passport and promised the Nigerians how that the innovation would fast-track payments and issuance and so on and so forth. Now he is coming to say bureaucracy, cash crunch, store e-passport issuance. What is the issue here? How does this connect ensuring that your data is taken, somebody goes through it, and ensure that you get your passport? So how does bureaucracy and cash crunch affect?
I don't even understand the minister. When the minister came, he said he's going to unbundle the bureaucracy. He's going to take it off.
Yeah.
And he demonstrated it when he now said that you cannot have your passport within a very short time. And they started work at that pace. You understand? Now it's saying that bureaucracy, what kind of bureaucracy
exactly
again?
that
before
raises
now,
the question.
Yeah, before now it used to be that the booklets, there was a shortage of booklets.
Exactly.
Those shortages are artificial. Because why they say they shortage of booklets at the passport offices, some person is at the back door giving out those things for high price.
Exactly. So you can fast track it.
Yeah, I went there to renew mine when I was about to renew mine, and they told me that there's no booklet. I said, no, why can't you say there's no booklet? They said, yes, because the booklet, they used to print it in Malaysia and all that. And I said, there's no. So I said, no, I have to renew because I have a visa in another passport, and that passport have less than 6 months to expire. And when you are traveling, your passport must have more than 6 months to expire.
True.
If it does not have, you have to do another one and attach both. Show them the one with the visa and tell them you have less than 6 months to expire. And show them a new one that
extends it.
So that is how you pack both. You know, I now show them, they will say, that's it is now. If you don't consider, it's okay. I went back and I wrote a production notice against them, threatening to go to court that I'm going to commence proceedings. I sent that to Abuja. They replied me that the condition under reference, that is the scarcity of the passport, have been resolved.
Simply because you took that action.
Yeah, that have been resolved. They attached another letter to the main letter directing me to meet someone at the passport office in Ikoyi and hand over the letter to that person. So when I got there, I called the number and they directed me to the office and I gave him they called him and they took me in and they did my capturing.
Wow. So which
of
this thing?
They said there's no before now they said there's shortage of booklets. So this shortage is artificial, it's wickedness. And because the masses don't take action, they were collecting 100,000 plus from people to do a passport that they wrote in their website that cost 26,000. And they will ask you to go and fill the form on their website. When you fill that form on their website and submit everything, you will never get that passport.
Very true.
Until you go to the back door, there are agents around them to fill with them, pay twice the price of what they have on their website before you are able to get. So the corruption is humongous. But I'm still going to go to court.
Very true. Well, that's just about the time we have for our newspaper reviews today. I'd love to say thank you to Barrister Vance Ufeli for being part of our show today, and we will indulge you if we can, wait behind to have our main conversation.
My pleasure.
All right. So when we return, Edo Assembly serves Philip Shuaibu impeachment notice. That in a bit when we come. Please don't go anywhere. It's still Enterprise Morning.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.